So this is the OAS Cruise Pro electric wheelchair, and honestly, this thing kinda changed my life. I have POTS and chronic fatigue issues, and for years, going out has never really been fun for me. It's been surviving, like trying not to overheat, trying not to black out, trying not to get dizzy, and trying to make it through the outing without needing to find somewhere to sit. But this was the first time in probably 6 years where I went out and I wasn't focused on my symptoms. I was focused on actually having fun. So I wanted to make a full review talking about the pros, cons, comfort, portability, battery life, accessibility, and just what this wheelchair is actually like in real life as an ambulatory wheelchair user. So I specifically wanted an electric wheelchair that folded up because I live in an apartment, I have a car, and I needed something that could realistically travel with me. One of the reasons I picked the Cruise Pro specifically was because it has features a lot of other chairs in this price range don't have. This one has a reclining back, an adjustable headrest, anti-tip wheels, a seat belt, suspension, and it comes in different colors. I got mine in pink because if I'm using a mobility aid every day, I want it to feel personal. I don't want it to feel like medical equipment. I decorated mine strawberry themed, and honestly, it made me feel a lot more confident about using it. The comfort on this thing is honestly amazing. The cushion is thick and supportive, and I sat in this chair for like 4 hours straight between the mall and a movie, and I genuinely wasn't uncomfortable. That's a huge difference from my old rollator/transport chair because that thing would start hurting after a while. The headrest is adjustable, which I love. The chair reclines too, which makes longer outings way easier. The seatbelt also has a ton of room. I'm around 240 pounds, and I still had a lot of room of adjustability left, so I never felt cramped or squeezed into the chair at all. One battery lasts up to around 10 miles, and honestly, I barely used any battery during a several-hour mall trip. I drove around for hours and didn't even lose a full bar. You can also buy a second battery if you need more range. Charging is pretty simple. I usually just plug it in whenever I get home and unplug it before going back out. The chair also has a front light, a horn, reverse mode, and a red safety light when stopping or backing up. And the motor itself really isn't loud. In crowded places, you don't notice it at all. There's also storage on the back with 2 pretty large pockets. I was able to fit a large water bottle, an umbrella, and smaller accessories back there. I also really appreciate that the frame works with normal universal accessories. A lot of mobility aids have weird shaped bars where you need custom attachments, but this one worked with normal Amazon cup holders and phone mounts. Now for the downsides. This chair is heavy, like really heavy. I think it's around 60 pounds with the battery, and while it folds up really nicely and fits well in my Jeep, actually lifting it is difficult. My boyfriend is 6 foot and pretty strong, and even he struggles carrying it up the apartment stairs sometimes. So while this chair is technically portable, I personally would not recommend it if you need to lift it independently all the time. If you live alone, have lots of stairs, or need to constantly load and unload it by yourself, that's something you seriously need to think about. Another downside is its bulky and tighter spaces. It fits through standard apartment doors fine, but certain accessible doors or cramped doors can still feel awkward. Like, Hot Topic is basically impossible, but normal stores like Target, Walmart, grocery stores, malls are completely fine. Manual mode is also harder to push than a normal wheelchair because of the weight of the motors and frame. So if your battery dies, someone can push you, but it's definitely heavier than a standard transport chair. I think this chair is especially amazing for ambulatory wheelchair users, people with POTS, chronic fatigue, dizziness, chronic pain, or anyone who can walk short distances but struggle with longer outings. For me personally, this completely changed how I experience going out. Before this, I would spend entire outings managing symptoms. I'd be overheating, dizzy, exhausted, trying not to pass out, trying to find places to sit, and counting how far I had left to walk. But using this chair, I didn't feel any of that. I wasn't hyperventilating, my heart rate wasn't going crazy, I wasn't exhausted afterwards. I was just enjoying my day. And honestly, my boyfriend even noticed my mood was better because I wasn't struggling the entire time. So overall, yes, I absolutely think this wheelchair was worth the money, especially for the price point. I actually paid more for my old rollator/transport chair than I did for this electric wheelchair during the sale. It's not perfect, it's heavy, it's bulky sometimes, and transporting it can be difficult, but this gave me independence back. For the first time in years, I could go out and focus on having fun instead of surviving my symptoms. And honestly, that feeling alone made this worth it for me.